Hey guys, I hope you're doing great today and welcome to your 10th tutorial in basic statistics in Excel. Now what we're going to do today is we're going to calculate the average, and we're going to calculate the average for ungrouped material and grouped material. Now this is an ungrouped material, it's just a set of raw data of observations with different values. This is a grouped material where you actually have a frequency table with material divided into classes and frequencies like this. So there are two formulas that we're going to use. This is the formula for ungrouped material. Excuse, this is Swedish, but this is a Swedish course from the beginning, so that's why we have a Swedish text here. This means ungrouped material in our sample, and that is x bar is equal to the sum of x divided by n. And this is for grouped material, which is the sum of f times x, the sum of f times x divided by n. We'll begin, as I said, with the ungrouped material. So we'll begin by calculating our n, which is equal to count. We select our data, close our parentheses, and we get 15. Next, we need the sum of x. Now, x is each value that we get when we observe our different people. So it's x is Facebook friends, number of Facebook friends. So what we do is we sum all the values of x that we have, and we get 4,105 friends in total. So in order to calculate the ungrouped material, we go is equal to the sum of x divided by the number of observations in a material, which is equal to 273.66. So if we decrease that, we get 274. In average, we have 274 Facebook friends in our material. So that's actually all you need to do for the ungrouped material. For the grouped material, it's slightly more complicated because we have our x values here. X are divided into classes. So we need to find a single value for each class that represents the class. Now, we call this klassmitt in Swedish. I translated it to x-center, which is the center value of each class. So what we can do here is simply take the average of these two values, which becomes the center. So we go is equal to the top limit of this class, which is 215.5, plus 178.5, and we have to put these in a parentheses, divided by 2. Now, why am I doing 0.5 here? Well, I'm doing 0.5 because, as I said in the last tutorial, the mathematical class limits are in fact 0.5. Above this value and below this value. So I hit enter, so I get a class center of 197, which is the middle of this class. So I need to do this now for all the classes. 252.5 plus 215.5 divided by 2. Same thing here, 289.5 plus 252.5. Need to create a parentheses. You could just calculate along with me when you're doing this, if you have the time. 226.5 plus 289.5 divided by 2 is equal to 363.5 plus 326.5 divided by 2. Do not forget the parentheses. So these are our class centers in the material. We need to multiply them by each frequency, so we get each observation, so to speak, it gets a value that we can sum up before we divide it by the total. So we go is equal to the frequency multiplied by 197. And what we can do now is we can just pull it right down like that. So we're going to use these values in order to sum up our f multiplied by x and then calculate our group's average. Should we go is equal to the sum of all of these values and in order to calculate our n, we can actually sum our frequencies, thusly, and then our grouped average will become our sum of f times x divided by n, which is equal to 276. So we have just calculated this formula. Now you notice that these two differ. Just like with our median, these two will differ. And the reason for this is when we have a grouped material, our first two observations, which are in this first class, and they correspond to these two observations in our raw data, will both get the value of 197. Now, as you can see, neither of these observations actually have the value of 197. One of them has 179 and the other has 235. So that means we're losing detail in the material when we're using grouped material like this. And that is why we get different values. So this value for the ungrouped material is in fact more true than this value. But as I said before, sometimes you just don't have the raw data. You maybe found this group material in an article or something. You want to check their facts. So that's it for this tutorial. I hope you have a good day, and I'll see you in tutorial 11. Bye bye.